I do not own any personal crystal skulls, but I have had the opportunity to work with a few others that belong to other people. So Master Crystal Teacher Dale Walker, who is absolutely amazing, he runs the Crystal Awareness Institute out of California. He has a few large skulls, and so does his wife, I believe. Maybe he has one and his wife has one, or he has a couple and she has a couple. But there was one particular skull that I got to work with called Rainbow. And what I will say is that the energy of that skull was really nice. I don't know if it was just the energy of the actual quartz that it was carved from, or if it was something about the way that it was actually carved. Because I do think that shaping a crystal into a certain formation, whether it's a skull or a little heart or a star, I think that does, you know, add some symbolism to the energy. So I think that there was something about that crystal skull that was really unique, and I felt very comfortable with it, because there have been other crystal skulls that I've been around that honestly, and I know I don't mean to offend anyone, but I get sort of heaved out. And it's not the idea of a skull, because that doesn't really bother me so much. You know, skulls have a lot of ancient tradition associated with them, especially when I think of skulls. I always think about them in context of like Tibetan Buddhism, where they're representative of just non-attachment to the physical, which I like the idea of that because it's promoting our spiritual awareness, right? So it's not really that, but just some of the energy of a few of the skulls I've been around. I'm not going to name any names, but there is someone out of Chicago who has a large skull, and I did not care for the energy of that skull. And I don't know if it was more about the person who was using it and almost this feeling of like a forceful, pushy energy, but I really felt uncomfortable around that particular skull. So other than that, I mean, I don't have too much to say other than there's some really interesting things being done. So for those of you who are a little bit unfamiliar with this idea, it's thought that there are these 13 ancient skulls and that they were carved from crystal, and that there are a lot of people who want to bring the 13 skulls together so that we'll see what happens, because it's thought when all 13 are brought together, it's supposed to really create this amazing, rapid development of consciousness, of human consciousness, and that there are messages stored in each of these skulls, and that by bringing them together, it's like putting the pieces of a puzzle all together. So there's some interesting stuff that way that's going on, and there's a lot of like myth and sort of occult stuff connected to the skulls, and a lot of stuff that for me personally, when I've tried to read up on it, is a little bit hokey, and I'm just not sure how I feel. I think that there's something really special about them, but I haven't made up my mind as to what that is yet, and I don't know enough yet to separate truth from myth as far as the legend of the skulls goes. So I know that there are probably a lot of you that are really into the skulls and know a lot more than I do, and I wish I could give you more info, but my experience has been very mixed depending on the particular skull and who its owner is and the integrity with which it's being used, and I think that that says more than anything. So with these 13 original skulls, there are some interesting things that are being done. So if you just buy, you know, like a reproduction carved skull, again, I think that because it's been shaped, there is something that's inherently connected energetically with that shape. But there are, like Dale Walker's doing this, it's really neat. He'll actually take his large skull and take some modern manufactured skulls, little baby ones, and he does a little ritual or ceremony where he charges and programs those little modern skulls with the energy from the large skulls, so the large skull's energy is connected to those smaller skulls. And I think that's really cool, because then you do get this more positive vibration from even these modern manufactured skulls. So that's something that's kind of different, unique, and really interesting.